Good evening, Hesham.
Good evening, Chatuni, and good evening, everyone. So, Chatuni, how's life with COVID 19?
Honestly, Hesham, life has been quite difficult with COVID 19, not just for me, but for everyone out there. The entire world is stagnated, and thanks to online platforms, our careers are surviving somehow.
Yes, Chatuni, you are absolutely right. Same here also. Not just for people. The economy is almost collapsing due to this situation. But out of all the industries, IT and digital business solution industry has become the heart of the entire economy, being the survivor of all the industries in the economy during COVID-19. So let's have a look on that.
Good evening, everyone. Today, we have one of the giants in the IT and digital business solutions industry in Sri Lanka. He's a very close personality to our university as well. You know why? That is because the university website, which the whole university is using along with many facilities, has been developed by this amazing personality. He's also a visiting lecturer at the University of Rajawardhanapura and also a certified corporate trainer. He's none other than the founder and the managing director of Edge Global Private Limited, Mr. David Benjamin. A very good evening to you, sir. We are so glad to have you here today.
So, sir, good evening again. How are you doing with COVID-19? Hope you are staying safe.
Yes, I'm doing very well, and my family also doing very well.
Good to hear that, sir. We all know that how essential of IT and digital business solution industry is to drive the economy forward with this ongoing situation, not only Sri Lanka, but also all over the world. Could you please give us a brief introduction to the IT and digital business solution industry and to your company, Edge Global Group Private Limited, and about the services provided under the umbrella of IT and digital services?
Okay. Heshan, thank you for that question. Actually, Age Global Group is a group of companies. We have three different areas we cater. Especially, we cater for digital marketing services to the people who are seeking and the people who interested in search engine optimization. Age Global Group is a company that have another three branches. So one is digital marketing arm, and another is a hotel management system. Another one is learning management system company. So what we provide is we start as a digital marketing company. Now we go into software development and search engine optimization and learning management systems. We do whatever we receive from our clients' requests. We do what our clients need. Currently, we have a good reputation on learning management systems because within this COVID period, we capitalize every marketing and every resources to that aspect because we receive a lot of inquiries from teachers and private sector gurus. So I think currently we are the number one in quality and the service for the LMS category. So as a whole industry, this is a good opportunity for any kind of business that provide cloud-based solutions. Cloud-based solutions mean like LMS, like hotel management system that hosted on cloud. So that kind of services. So we are on every kind of technical technology services, but especially in digital marketing and learning management systems and hotel management systems are the main products we offer.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for that information. That was quite a lot of insights. And when it comes to IT and digital business solutions industry, it has been the main survivor during the pandemic, undoubtedly, while helping other industries to survive as well. So we would like to know about the performance of the entire industry as a whole before COVID-19 pandemic and how the industry has been affected or the significant changes that have been taken place due to COVID-19 pandemic.
That's a good question because you know that every company is trying to implement some kind of strategy to, come out from this situation. And you know, in every aspect, sometimes businesses try to recover, some businesses try to thrive in this situation. Sometimes they are trying to, trying to survive, right? Whatever they are trying, they are doing with some kind of physical barriers. Especially, they can't move. Sometimes they can't meet. Sometimes, so in this situation, this kind of opportunity create a bigger opportunity for the IT industry to provide good solutions. Currently, I think in Sri Lanka, IT sector is booming. It's been rapidly booming because of the demand that created due to this situation. Especially for ERP systems, work from home systems like Zoom or whatever, Microsoft Teams, whatever, that kind of communication systems. Because, you know, in this kind of situation, every company should take care of some kind of aspect in their business, especially downtime. They have to minimize the downtime. How they're going to minimize downtime? They have to implement some kind of technologies that can help them to reduce the downtime. That as we use this Zoom, this is one of good, good example for reducing the downtime. So, they have to care about the flexibility of their business. So they are trying to find some good technologies that can help them to increase their flexibility or keep their flexibility as same before this COVID-19. As like, you know, that previously we used electronic phone exchange system like EPABX systems, inter-exchange systems. Now people, businesses going to mobile PBX. They use mobile phones to do the same thing, so people can work from home. So that's the technologies that improve the flexibility. And also, you know that some companies ordered some good 3D printers, so they can print what they need in their warehouse or in their factories. So they no need to be depending on the supply chain from in China manufacturers, because so if they want some kind of prototype, they can print that in their facility. So that's also a good example for flexibility improving technologies, and also efficiency maximizing technologies. So so if we can improve efficiency in our businesses, that's also help. And another thing is profit maximizing technologies, especially, you know, there's some B2B businesses going for e-commerce. Previously they paid 40 to 50 percent commission to their network. Now they are doing their business on Daras or whatever the platform, e-commerce platform. So they increase their margin. So those are the key areas every business should take care in this kind of situation. So all those solutions come from IT industry. Flexibility improvements come from IT industry. Efficiency maximization definitely come from IT industry. Communication platform come from IT industry. So this pandemic helped good IT companies to maximize their portfolio as well as maximize their capacity and provide good solutions to the people who are seeking that. So I think this is a good opportunity for any IT industry business But I'm not talking about the hardware industry. But hardware industry is directly suffering from this situation. You know that the supply chains and everything, we are totally dependent on, that China and what the manufacturers. But currently, hardware and networking people suffering. But when it comes to the IT, I mean, software developers, IT solution providers, they are doing very well in this pandemic.
As you very correctly mentioned, sir, I think a strong IT and digital business solution industry cannot be left behind while uplifting the economy at a moment like this, especially in a country like Sri Lanka. In such a situation, what are the short-term and long-term measures and strategies that the industry has taken collectively to develop the economy?
That's a really nice question, Heshan, right? But in Sri Lanka, you know that this like a situation that create sudden boom, right? So in as you know that in Sri Lankan IT industry not yet regulated very well. There are some regulations, but everyone can do whatever they want in that industry, and there are not good enough quality assurance measurements in the industry. So, and also when it comes to the clients, they are seeking cost-effective solution. They are not seeking good quality solution. They are looking for cost aspect only. Due to this thing, I didn't see any industry. It's been industry-related gathering, and they gather together and provide a good platform. I didn't see that kind of thing in IT industry, because everyone try to that Bordiye Malubana scene, because the situation created that kind of platform. You know, in Sri Lanka, IT literacy is very low in every industry. It's not, in education and whatever, it's very low. So the business people didn't even use a computer. You know that, because we lost a good amount of young people in our country due to some political situations. So now these business people are very old ones, and they don't trust IT. So those are the people now running the entire ecosystem or business system. So because of that, there is no powerful demand from customers to give. They didn't give us this proper solution. They didn't ask from the IT industry. So everyone tried to survive and like things. So they didn't get a good solution from IT industry as a whole. So IT people didn't care about that also, because there is no huge demand from the people and not huge control from the government. So I didn't see any good collective effort to give solutions from the IT industry aspect. I think everyone tried to do the Borodiye Malube, in this industry, due to this current situation. I think because of the regulation issues, because of the quality assurance issues, and the market demand. So those three things define the way IT industry works. So what happened was, IT industry didn't come with a good, collective solutions. They just provide solutions to individual clients. So I didn't see that kind of big improvements or big impact. That kind of impact in this industry.
Thank you so much for the information. So actually, that was something which all of us were not really aware of, to be very honest. And as we all know, every dark cloud has a silver line. Although COVID-19 pandemic has severe adverse impacts, it has also led us to some incredible concepts such as work from home and e-learning. They have become very popular during this pandemic. It is a great solution to move forward instead of being stagnated. However, there are some business risks and information risks associated with those concepts. With that concern, to which extent the industry is benefited from these concepts, and what are the necessary precautions that can be suggested to ensure the cyber security?
Yeah, this is a major this should be discussed in a major level. It's mean this should be discussed in TVs and other, in mass media, because you know that due to this less IT literacy in our Sri Lankan peoples, the cybersecurity is a key thing that we should have addressed. What my suggestion is this: if you can follow these 5 simple steps, you will be safe for some kind of extent. Okay, what you have to do is you have to have 2 email address, at least 2 email address. One email address should be really protected with a good security, 2-factor authentications, or what you have to use whatever the effort to keep that email address safe. And there should be another email address that you can use in platforms, LMS, and you can register with other platforms with that email. But what you have to do is you have to keep your very sensitive information, credit card information, password should be synced with the first email address I mentioned. Don't use that email address to sign up to any other platform. It should be the email address that you are using for only syncing and keeping information safe. And you can keep that. You know that you have at least 80 to 100 passwords in your browser, right? It's saved on your browser, so it should be saved on that email address. That email address never should be used in any other platform or to use as a sign up email address. You have to use that second email address to sign up any other platform. Other thing is you have to have 2 debit cards with internet banking facility. What you have to do is keep your first card away from internet. Don't use that debit card for any internet-based payment. Use that. Keep your money in that account and use that card only for the physical payment. And use the second card for the internet use. So what you have to do is, if you have to pay $10, go to your internet banking facility. You have to transfer the specific amount to your second debit card and use that for the one-time payment. So when you have to pay something, you use the second debit card, but before that you have to transfer that specific amount to that card and use. So if something compromised, you are not going to lose your money, because you're only going to use you are going to use that card with what the amount in that card. So if you can do that kind of things, you will be safe for some extent, because we can't keep everyone safe, right? So, and also you have to think about where you are going to back up your WhatsApp and where you're going to back up your things. It should be back up to the email address that you have kept very safe. So you know that we see the A-level, because we are providing LMS solutions to many teachers. Some of our LMS have 45,000 students in that. The students don't know even they have an email address. They just use whatever they know as an email address. They sign up to the system. They try to sign to the system. I think we can't protect everyone in this situation. We can't teach them, but that's why I told you we have to discuss this in major platforms like TVs, how to protect yourself from the cyber attacks, or what this kind of topic should be discussed in. It should be a major discussion. So thank you for that question. It's really good question.
I think that was a very valuable piece of information, sir. We all should be aware of these kind of risks when using technology, as almost everyone in the economy is adapting themselves to the technology to survive with the pandemic. As we started talking about this, another question came into my mind, like what is the role of the government during such a pandemic? What are the specific incentives given by the government, and what are further incentives expected in order to provide better IT and digital business solutions and to contribute to the development of economy?
Only thing government does is they provide a low interest rate loan, but I don't know, we didn't ask, but I don't know how much people got that loan, but that's a very good question. what the government can do is they can introduce good, law and order for IT industry. You know that every student now learning from home, the teachers try to teach them with the Zoom kind of platforms, and they are collecting payments as they collected from the classrooms. They didn't even provide good quality printed materials to the students. It's not regulated, right? So some teachers, they rob their student with this technology. We have to have some kind of proper mechanism and proper law and order, and there should be a way that we can protect students and people who using these technologies. You know that sometimes they don't have proper internet connection, so government should have to care about that also. So if you are going with this internet kind of things, this Zoom like teaching, government should ensure that every student have minimum internet connection that needs for that streaming facility. So it can't be done. Can't be done with any other party. The government should be focused on those things. They give us some good data plans, but what happened to the Polonnaruwa students? What happened to people who live outside the city areas? How are they going to learn? There are no that infrastructures, quality assurance and law and order. Those are the things government should focus in this situation. How government they have to think how we can protect students, how we can protect people from cyber attacks. They have to implement those measurements, right? They have to implement law and order. They have to guide teachers or the people who try to get benefit from this. They have to guide them. This is the measurements we measure. You have to act according to these measurements. You can't exceed these kind of things. You can't charge for this. You can't limit the number of amount that student can view this video. You know that this like a crazy thing right now, because some teachers limit the amount that student can watch the video. But you know there is a law in this world, digital, millennium digital law. So there are some good measurements and there is some good laws to that can protect students, but nothing is implemented in Sri Lanka right now. So what government can do is introduce some quality measurements and introduce some law and orders to the industry, this new industry, so people can work and people can earn and people can learn properly. I think that's the government part. We can't do that. We can't implement measurements. We can't implement law and order because we just developers, right? But government should care about that kind of aspect. That's not currently happening. So that's my thought about that.
Yes, the government has a huge role in this, as you said, and especially the contribution of IT and programming consultancy and related activities during 2020 substantially expanded with a percentage of 13.5%. With that, the government should provide adequate incentives for the upliftment of this industry. One last question we would like to ask is, according to the knowledge and the experience that you have on this industry, what are the forecasts and predictions on IT and digital business solutions industry and the economy as a whole for the upcoming years?
My predictions are there will be a huge demand for business consultants, because the people who does the business, they now know that their knowledge is not sufficient to face this kind of situation. So they are seeking help from consultants. So there will be a good demand for business consulting, and there will be a great demand for cyber security consulting and consultation business about cyber security, because every business is now taking care of their cyber. They are worrying about their security in the cyberspace. And there will be a great demand for cloud infrastructure providers. If someone can start a good cloud platform like Akaso or whatever, if that Akaso Dialog can capitalize, and if they can reduce their prices according to the demand, I think that will be a great help for to get a good recover this situation. We also depending on AWS and Microsoft. We spend a lot of money. It's not good to the economy right now, because that now the American dollar is for nearly 200 rupees, because we spend on cloud infrastructure in another country, especially in American companies. So if you want to, if we can focus on providing good cloud platforms in Sri Lanka, good cybersecurity systems or a learning management system that developed from Sri Lanka, it means made by Sri Lankan, it will very very good thing to do. And also e-commerce platforms will going to have good demand. It's going to have good demand. And payment gateway facility providers like PayHere, they are doing really well in this situation. So I think especially business consulting, cybersecurity, and cloud infrastructure, those are the areas that's going to have a lot of demand in near future. And currently also we have good demands for those things, but in future, especially cybersecurity and business consulting is going to have a huge demand on that two markets.
Thank you so much for this fruitful conversation. So I believe we learned a lot from this interview. We are so grateful that you accepted our invitation despite your busy schedules. I think all of us got really good insights about the industry, as well as the contribution made by it during the COVID-19 pandemic, and what are the job opportunities that can arise in this industry. I think it was really helpful. Once again, thank you so much for joining us, sir.
Thank you, sir, and
Thank you
all.
very much.
Thank you all the people who joined with us today. We believe it was a very informative to all of us. Even though it is a very challenging situation for all of us, let's try our level best to move forward strategically with this pandemic. Keeping that in mind, stay safe and make sure to adhere to health guidelines as always. Thank you.